Rule of Fedding grant by estoppels. So the doctrine of Fedding the grant by estoppel is based on the maxim nemo dat quod non habet, which implies that no one can give to another which he himself does not possess. Section 43 of the Transfer of Property Acts lays down where a person fraudulently or erroneously represents that he is authorized to transfer certain immovable property and professes to transfer such property for consideration. Such transfer shall, at the option of the transferee, operate on any interest which the transfer may acquire in such property at any time during which the contract of transfer subsists. This general rule lays down that no property can be transferred by any person who is not authorized to do so. Thus, if a person does not have a title to property, he cannot validly transfer the same to another. But this rule has been relaxed in practice due to adjustment of equities between such person and transferee. One of such exception to this rule is provided in section 43 of Transfer of Property Act. The principle of law on which the provisions of section 43 rest is well-known rule of estoppel, sometimes referred to as fedding the grant of estoppel. This means that if a person who although has no title to a property yet grants it to another by conveyance, fraudulently causing loss to the other, will lose his subsequent interest in the property to the other in case of any subsequent transfer of such property in his favor. An estoppel arises against the transfer for his conduct, and the law obliges him to feed that estoppel by reason of his subsequent acquisition. Thus, the principle underlying this section is based partially on doctrine of estoppel and partially on equitable doctrine that a man who has promised more than he can give ought to give when he acquires what he initially claimed. The doctrine of fedding the grant of by estoppel compels a man to perform when the performance becomes possible. It does give the transferor the option of going ahead with the transfer. It then completely depends upon the transferee if he is still willing to go ahead with the transfer after the transfer becomes a viable option. Essential requisites of doctrine of fedding the grant by estoppel. First, a fraudulent or erroneous representation of ownership. Second, a transfer for consideration. Third, at the option of the transferee. Fourth, a subsisting contract of transfer. Now, exceptions to the doctrine of fedding the grant of estoppel. When the transferee is aware of the true transaction, the benefit of this section cannot be claimed by the transfer if he did not believe in or acted upon the representation. Second is when the transfer is forbidden by law. Third is when the second transferee acquires right. So here is an illustration. X, a Hindu wife, executed a mortgage of her husband's property as if it belonged to her 5 years after he had disappeared. The mortgage was invalid as the presumption of death does not arise until 7 years. Next, A and B, two sisters, inherit property on death of their father. A, even though entitled to only half share, sells entire property to C, representing himself to be the sole owner. B dies and inherits A's share. C is now entitled to claim interim in that share. X, a person, sold the property as an agent of Y, a widow, and later became the heir of X property. The doctrine does not apply in this situation as there is no erroneous representation. A and B entered into a contract with A falsely representing the facts. B, after knowing this, terminated the contract. A later on claims interest in the subject of the contract. The doctrine does not apply as the contract no longer subsists.